My wife Ernestine recently alerted me to another weirdly viral video. Suddenly popped up from a 2014 First Take episode. I think this video detonated because Merril Hoge tweeted about it, or I should say gloated about it. And this was a First Take clip featuring Merril and I going back and forth about Johnny Manziel ahead of Johnny's draft. Let's start with this. Merril Hoge was one of a parade of ex-players who told me on air, on First Take, on ESPN, that Tim Tebow could not play in the National Football League. Before Tebow's draft, I argued with all of the above, and I said I would take Tim Tebow at the bottom of the first round. Now to Johnny Manziel. Merril also said Johnny was nothing more than a 5th or 6th round pick. And I did go on record. I said if I were the Houston Texans drafting number 1 overall, I'd take Johnny Manziel, in part because he was a Texas kid from San Antonio who had played his college football just up the road from Houston at College Station, home of Texas A&M. John Gruden, then ESPN's voice of Monday Night Football, also said on First Take that he definitely would take Johnny Manziel number 1 overall. Now for my key disclaimer. Again and again, and again and again, I said on First Take, on ESPN, on live national TV, if Johnny Manziel had any alcohol and or drug issues, I was out. If he just had party issues, I was out. I was plugged into the Manziel camp at that point. I knew he was having his problems. I did not know if they would persist and continue in the NFL. The point here is I did not have any doubt about Manziel's ability to star in the National Football League. I had zero doubts, and to this day, I have none. I don't study coaches' tape the way Merril did, but I carefully watch TV games. I do lots of homework behind the scenes about what makes so-and-so tick. Merril Hoge did play in the NFL, played, 7 seasons in Pittsburgh. He was a later round pick, I think a 10th rounder at that point, way back in the 90s. Played running back his first year, then segued to fullback, did suffer some concussions, but had a decent career. One year had 772 yards rushing, really as a fullback. But I got to tell you, I'd never seen anything like Johnny Manziel. That's why this has turned into such a sad story for me personally. I'm talking about throwing it and running it, never seen anything like him. So now, thanks to the tip from Ernestine, I had to sit back and read Merril Hoge's tweet, along with that clip of me versus Merril on First Take back in 2014. Merril's tweet said, "This is why watching tape is vital to evaluating players and their ability to transition to the NFL. No stat, all caps, can, all caps, ever tell you about a college player's ability to play in the NFL. And no award or championship they won means they can play in the NFL." To that, I say baloney. I'm going to say it again. I'll put my football knowledge up against Merril Hoge's or anybody else's who played pro football. I did learn my football from the great Bill Walsh, from Tom Landry and Jimmy Johnson, and I can go on and on. I'll put my record of picking quarterbacks ahead of these drafts up against anybody's, anytime. I said from the start, big no on Carson Wentz. Then I was a big yes on Jalen Hurts. I said from the start, Baker Mayfield will be better than Sam Darnold, and he has proven to be way better than Sam Darnold, even though you can say the jury is still out on Baker. He has had stretches in pro football of, I'm not going to say greatness, but of very goodness. But yes, I said if Johnny Manziel is unable to prioritize football over partying, of quarterbacking over partying, then I'm out. From here on, when it's called for, when it's significant, I will defend myself. I hope you enjoyed that video. You ready for more? Make sure you click that subscribe button for all the exclusive content from the Skip Bayless Show. And don't forget to check out the full episode of the show wherever you get your podcasts by clicking the link in the description.